Good morning everyone. My name is Emelia R. Pastorin of Tua Elementary School, Magallanes, Cavite. My research is all about effectiveness of differentiated instruction in teaching reading skills in English for grade 4 pupils. Context and rationale. Like science and math, Olicia said in 2017 that English is a difficult but important subject because the curriculum considered it as a tool subject needed to understand the different context subjects. As educator, the teacher-researcher was motivated to conduct this action research on the effectiveness of DI in teaching English, particularly reading on grade 4 pupils at Tua Elementary School for a month. She also wanted to know the effect of this method on the academic performance of the pupils from result of the diagnostic and achievement tests. Action research questions. This study determined the effectiveness of conducting DI to grade 4 English class. Specifically, it answered the following. What is the performance of the two groups of respondents in the diagnostic tests? And what is the performance of the two groups of respondents in the achievement tests? For number 3, is there a significant difference in the pretest score of control and experimental group? Number 4, is there a significant difference in the posttest scores of control and experimental group? Lastly, is there a significant difference between the pretest and posttest scores of the control and experimental group? Propose innovation, intervention, and strategy. After the diagnostic test was given and the similarity of scores of both the experimental and control group was established, the two sections handled by the researchers underwent the experimented intervention with one section taught using differentiated instruction, while the other one was given the curriculum, the experiment. The t-test became the basis of the result, whether DI was effective or not. Lessons for 4 weeks were prepared for the experiment. Each has the equivalent irregular lessons and the ones to be used for DI. Action research methods. The experimental method of research was utilized as the method as two sections comprising one group each were compared. There was a control group and an experimental group in the control. The researcher administered the diagnostic test to both groups and the results were subjected to t-test to make sure that the groups were valid for the conduct of the experiment. If the results yielded no significant difference in the two means, then the experiment would proceed. Participants and other sources of data and information. Section A, comprising of 22 pupils, 12 boys and 10 girls, was the experimental group, while Section B, with 22 pupils, 12 boys and 10 girls, became the control group and they comprised being the respondents to this study. Data came from the diagnostic and the achievement test results. Data gathering method. The researcher prepared a 40-item diagnostic test for reading skills. This was administered and the least mastered skills were identified so that those became the basis of the lessons for the experiment. Data from the diagnostic and achievement tests were tabulated, coded, and tallied for statistical treatment as basis. Data analysis plan. The available results were subjected to comparison using averages and the pretest and posttest scores with the use of SPSS. At 0.05 level of significance, the results were the basis if the use of DI is good in increasing performance of grade. For the result and discussions, the following are the results of the study. For number 1, what is the performance of the two groups of respondents in the diagnostic test and achievement? Table 1 shows that performance of the two groups in pretest and posttest prior to and after the differentiated instruction. The diagnostic test result of the two sections were almost the same. However, after the intervention using DI, the achievement test scores, while both have shown increased. The experimental group reported a higher test For the number 2 question, is there a significant difference in the pretest score of control and experimental groups prior to the intervention? Table 2 shows that the computed t-values of 8.81 is higher than 0.005 level of significance. The null hypothesis is accepted. Therefore, there is no significant difference between the diagnostic test performance of the control and experimental group. For number 3, is there a significant difference in the posttest scores of control and experimental group after the intervention? Table 3 shows that the computed t-value of 0.0049 is less than 0.005 level of significance. The null hypothesis is rejected. Hence, the significant difference exists in the achievement test scores. For the conclusion and recommendation, the following recommendations are offered. The differentiated instructional materials should be immediately used by intermediate in their English classes. Number 2, all teachers should produce more differentiated instructional materials to be used for higher grade level. Number 3, durable materials should be used for the differentiated instructional materials to last. Lastly, assessment on the effectiveness of the use of differentiated instructional materials should be done and this study should be continued. Thank you.